Hi guys, we are going to talk about singleton design pattern, which is very important for interview purposes. Like for in from minimum like 3 years. If you have a 3 years experience, it's a very expected question. Then every interviewer will ask for you whether you are going from back end, like any kind of like plus three, three plus. This question is definitely going to come for your interview. So we'll start with what is singleton design pattern for interview. We will be, doing this in series. Like first series will be very basic. What is this? How do we implement? What are the various ways? So let's begin. Okay, what is a singleton class? It's a class that is designed to have only one instance throughout the application's lifetime. This ensures that there is a single point of access to the class instance and all other parts of the application share the same instance. What does it mean? It means that per JVM, there should be only one object should be created whenever this class is accessed. It should not contain multiple objects. Okay, now how do we create it? Basically, there are two ways. Eager initialization. When we say eager initialization, we mean that once it is when the class is being loaded, it should be initialized at that time. Any instance of singleton, it should be created at that time. And another is your lazy initialization, which says that you create that object when you need it. So let's discuss first before going to the implementation, like what are the advantages and disadvantages of both the implementation. I mean, there are a lot of implementations which would be further asked in interview. First, let's go to the basic implementation. Okay, so eager is good since it's thread safe. Since the instance is created at class loading time, there is no possibility of multiple threads created different instances. No synchronization overhead. I hope you're aware of what is synchronization. Basically, when we have to avoid race conditions, we use synchronization. May consume memory even if the instance is never used. So this is one of the biggest disadvantage. Even if you don't want to use, if you're not using, but you have created. So it's basically memory consumption unnecessary. So when we talk about lazy, it's in term lazy means when you need it, create it. So the advantage is memory efficiency, on demand initialization. And because since it's created whenever it is needed, so it's not thread safe. When I say thread safe, many threads will access and every thread will create its own instance. As a result, it will not be a singleton design pattern. A possibility of multiple threads creating different instances simultaneously. So let's go for the code part. See, this is created like this. Up we see there is a private, there is a static, there is a final. So we do not want to create it again. So we have used final static because it's being used by your static method. So you need to define it static and then private for privacy region. So first you need to declare for private static final object name, then private constructor, since you do not want anybody else to access and create the object. Third is the static method, which is used for returning the class. Why we need static? Because we do not want, because for calling this function otherwise we will be required to create an object. Now we talk about similarly for lazy initialization. If we see, okay, let me bigger the size. Okay, just a second. So I hope it's visible. Let me increase the size of the font either way. So you see, they have defined private static lazy. They have not initialized. So basically, when you initialize an object, you assign a memory to it. So basically, you are assigning it memory only when they are needed. So that is why we are defining. We are just declaring. We're not initializing it. And again, we know why we need private. We know why we need static because it is being used in static method. right? So if instances is equal to null, so if the instance is not created, it will always point to null. So once it is it was not created, you will create and you will return. Okay, that will be all for this part, and in the next part we'll be discussing some very important, like how can we, make it thread safe, or how can we break synchronization, like what is the best way to create a singleton design pattern. That will be all. Thanks. Bye bye.